welcome to a brand new episode of The Rush Hour. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anthony.
Today we're going to be talking about a whole lot of good and bad things in the video game industry.
Because that's what the industry is, good and bad.
Yeah.
A lot of bad.
A lot of bad.
A lot of bad. But we still got some good.
Yeah. So we're going to start with the good, and then we'll ease you into the bad.
We'll try to.
All right. So for first, what games are you playing?
All right, don't get mad, cause I feel like you're gonna. I am playing Final Fantasy 12.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Of course you are. For reference, Michael thinks I shouldn't be playing it because I played it before, even though I didn't beat it.
All right, because you did beat it. I'll let this slide this time.
Okay.
All right. You still playing 7?
I am still playing 7. I am somehow successfully juggling the two. Maybe because they're so different.
They're very different.
That I can keep a very clear distinction between the two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still playing 7 and I'm still playing 12.
I kind of want to play 7 a little bit. Not even gonna lie.
That portability, man.
That's what's really getting me, because like, I don't want to do enemy skills and stuff again.
Yeah,
and
man. And then they got the speed up function.
Yeah, they broke the game with the dip switches. You can turn it on.
Oh yeah, then you got busted mode.
Like that's a little much of an
is your health low? Just flip a switch and fix it. You want some crazy. Free limit? There you go.
Some free limit. Wow. What else are you playing? That's it? Just those two mainly?
Am I playing anything else? Yeah, really. Nothing on the PS4 has like grabbed me as of late.
I mean, you still ain't beat Devil May Cry, so
no, I still haven't. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. That game is just not a priority to me.
It's not been a priority since it came out.
Hey, when it came out, I played it and I liked it, but then it was like, I mean, it's cool.
It's alright.
It's alright.
We need to do a show about that game.
Alright.
One day.
One day.
We'll get there, but
I keep saying I'm gonna finish it, and it's just like, I'll hover over it, and then just pick a fighting game.
Any indie games you like playing? Because I know you got like a zillion indie games on your Switch that you play.
Ooh, man. So I finally picked up Blaster Master 02. Wonderful game.
Of course.
Got a superb game. Of course, I picked up Cuphead because I hate myself. And to call that a perfect translation from console to Switch, I don't think it's any exaggeration.
Yeah.
That game is amazing on Switch. It's like they had to have no compromises, and that's probably because of the art style. Mm-hmm. Looks great. If you have not had the pleasure of playing Cuphead yet, buy it on Switch.
Yeah, that's the time. Time is now.
Yes. What about you?
Let's see. Well, since I got a review code from Idea Factory, shout out to them. I'll be playing Dragon of Veneer Star very soon and doing a review for it.
Hey.
Let's see what else I'm playing. Of course, I'm still working through all of the Trails games, so I'm still on Trails of Zero Part 2. The op arc, as I call it. I'm gonna get through all of them if I can before part 3 comes out.
He's serious, man. He busted out this PSP for this and everything.
I really did. I'm getting through these games. I got to somehow.
You got this. If anyone can do it, you can do it, man.
Trails in the Sky gonna be hard. That's like 3 games.
You got this, man.
I got it somehow. I'm gonna get there. What else I'm playing? I'm playing DMC again because I want to play that all the way through.
Yeah, man, you got it with 60 frames now?
It's so good in 60 frames. That game is hard.
What?
The part that's hard to me is like the controls. The fact you got to hold like R2 to do certain things, you got to hold R1 to do certain things. Like, I'm finding that that's not easy to do.
Didn't you beat this game?
Yeah, I was a crazy kid.
Oh.
What was that, like 2011 the game came out?
I'm just saying, man.
I'm an adult now. I'm thinking now. I'm like, wait, this is kind of hard.
Man. Imagine we beat that game and I wasn't coerced, but Devil May Cry 5 is like, man.
You gotta shake I gotta
clear my day for that. And make sure I have no distractions. Close the blinds and I gotta focus. I might have to delete every other game on my system just to
so you like that's the only game here.
Man, it's not even that it's a bad game. It's just,
I I did boot up Star Ocean 4 again, and I need to stop doing that because that game was a time sink. I know I stopped myself because I'm like, man, this game is fun. I
can't judge you. I can't possibly.
I judge myself though, because I know better. I know if I sit there and play that game, I can sit there and play that entire game all the way through, just because of the combat alone. I can just do without the story because the story was.
This is why I have yet to boot up this Gaia 1 again.
Oh, don't do that. Because you can say so many.
That's another 100 hours gone. That's
Easily.
That's a Thanos snap of 100 hours.
Yikes. But yeah, I think that's all I'm really playing right now. I'm waiting for a lot of other games to come out this year. I'm waiting for Three Houses to come out.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of my main games I'm waiting for. I need that game like in my veins. Like just put it there.
Man, I want to see how that game turns out, but I'm also waiting on Marvel Alliance, man.
Yo! We'll talk about that later too.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about that. Speaking of which, let's talk about some rundown stuff, some updates, you know, the fun stuff.
Yay! Speaking of Star Ocean First Departure R.
Yes. So for those who've never played Star Ocean First Departure, this was on the PSP. This was a remake of the original game on the SNES. Now they're going to remaster that remake and put it on PS4 and Switch. I'm buying on Switch. I need that on Switch. That's portable. I need that.
I'm definitely going to buy it.
Like, that's, oh my God. Part 1 is so good. That remake is so good. I beat it like years ago on the PSP. I'm so glad they're doing this because we deserve this. Like,
people deserve to know that Star Ocean was good before. Like, what's that 5 called?
5? Okay, 4 was like a polarizing game, but 5 was an egregious like disrespect to the fandom.
Yeah, that name was stupid too.
Oh yeah, faithlessness and integrity.
Okay,
what does faithlessness even mean?
Just you all couldn't have found a better word.
They could have found something better than that.
And what is what
integrity and
faithlessness and integrity? So do y'all hate the church or?
I guess that was the issue.
Is this game about atheism?
I was confused with that story. That story was so bummies.
But doesn't matter because we're going back to the beginning.
Yeah, on the Switch, the Switch is getting so many like remasters. I'm so happy.
Yeah, because JRPGs and portability go hand in hand.
They really do. And now we have something that can play stuff at 720p like consistently, like
especially for people who have like jobs and stuff and long commutes.
Yes. This is perfect
can't
for that.
Always be home. You can take an hour here, an hour there, play through this RPG that's probably going to be 40, 60 hours.
About 60. Most Star Ocean gets about 60 hours at the least. Except that 5 was like 30 hours, which was disrespectful. I'm like, why is this game already over?
Because that time was spent on the graphics.
It had to be. They had I know they had a small budget, but I don't care. They could have made something happen with that. But I'm glad that they're putting the remastered version on Switch. I'm gonna definitely buy it. I'm gonna make sure everyone sees it and knows it comes out because it's a great game. All right, what's next on our
Yashimaru and Genjiro.
I didn't get a chance to play Sam's show. I didn't get a chance to play Sam's show this weekend.
Man, I played a ton of it.
I don't think Joshua was in the demo, was he?
Who?
Yashimaru.
No.
Okay, he wasn't. Yeah, husband. I'm gonna play him anyway.
No, they only had 8 characters.
You did play Genjiro, didn't you?
Yes.
You're gonna like him. I felt it.
For reference, I never really played Sam's show before, so my experience with it is incredibly limited. So I kind of went in here mostly fresh, and Genjiro. I mean, what is there to say? Look at him.
Yeah, he's great.
Plus, he slices you with like cards and stuff. That's stylish.
It's very stylish. I like the fact that they're going to give out DLC if you just pre-order it. I think it's between now and the 30th of June. If you do it, you get all the first season 1 of DLC for free. So that's pretty awesome.
Charlotte's great. Nakaruru is trash.
I wonder she's going to be as busted as she was in KOF before they patched her. Because, man, she was busted.
Yeah, but this is a totally different game.
That's true. But that bird is still a threat.
Man, if you can, like, slash that bird out the sky, I'd be totally
I would.
That.
See, it's not Rinakaru I hate. It's that bird I hate. That bird made me dislike her. Man.
Well, I hate them both, so.
Yikes. So, yeah, that trailer was pretty good, too, for both of them. For Genjiro and for Yashimaru.
Yes. And as much as I wanted to play Yashimaru because he's one of the cooler looking characters, Genjiro was still pretty fun.
I can see you maining Genjiro, honestly.
I mean, look, I
can so see that happening. Cool. Yeah, free DLC is always good too.
Yeah, man, that free season pass stuff when you buy into it, why not?
I think more companies should do that, honestly. Like,
yes.
If you pre-order, you get a free season because that would just make people want to buy the game. Man, you will boost sales.
Yeah, and for people who don't buy the game, you still get people who buy the DLC.
Yeah, because at that point, you're getting the money on the after the first week sales too, because you're gonna get that DLC money. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think more companies should do that.
Yeah, but
they ain't, because everybody ain't cool like that.
You ain't lying.
Can't wait for the game to come out. Hopefully, we can get a chance to review it.
I would like to.
Yeah.
I've already got a pretty good idea, but I want to see what else. Because I feel like in the demo, I didn't have the chance to check out every single mechanic.
Yeah.
Because there's so many at play.
There really are. Even though the game looks pretty, like, simplistic and, like, how it's played, it's still, like, a lot of mechanics in play.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into Oninaki. They had a weapons trailer, which I was like, give me this game now. So the main character, he gets like different demons, and he's able to use them as different weapon types. It's like, I think like 6 or 7 in the trailer they showed. There might be more once the game comes out.
There was like sword, axe, spear, gun,
scythe. That scythe gotta be hype.
That scythe was pretty cool.
I really want to play this game. This is such a departure from I Am Setsuna and Lost Fear. So I want to say they do it.
How was Lost Fear? I haven't even tried that game.
It's mediocre.
Oh.
I mean, it's mediocre in a way where I think it's hard. I think because I Am Setsuna was such a great game, anything that didn't live up to it was going to be mediocre. And I don't think the game did. I mean, visually it's pretty and everything. I think the battle system was good, but I Am Setsuna was just a really great game.
It was.
Overall. Like,
I wish I could have finished it.
Why didn't you?
I told you why I didn't.
Oh, you're right. I forgot.
I think I've said on the show why I have not done so.
That was a while ago, though.
Look, man.
You gotta go back in the archives and find out that.
All right. So one day, I was at the last dungeon. Everything is cool, and that last dungeon is kind of difficult, but I found the rhythm and the way to deal with these enemies that just kept showing up. Everything was fine. All I had to do was not break the rhythm. Everything will be fine. But then, my wife, bless her soul, totally just threw everything off, and I died. Now I'm thinking, all right, that's fine. Surely there's no way I would have wasted so much time that they would just throw me back at the beginning of the dungeon. Wrong. I was back at the beginning of that dungeon.
Oh, no.
And my heart sank. After that, I just cut the game off and I have not gone back.
I don't really blame you because, like, last dungeons can be exhausting. And to have to redo it again, you have to be a masochist, to be honest.
Man, and that game was wonderful up till then. It ain't even the game's fault. But I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Maybe one day you'll just like, you know what? I just want to do this. It might happen.
Maybe I will get that closure I so sorely need.
I remember like years ago, I was playing Lunar the very first time, and it was this one part. It was a puzzle, and it made no sense to me. And I was like, when I was 14, I must have waited maybe 6 years later. I was like 20. And I was like, I'm going to try this dungeon again. I still have my save data too. I got through it. I'm like, I was so happy. I actually finally beat that game 6 years later.
That is one of the best feelings. You go back to a game that gave you trouble, that you didn't finish, and then you just beat it.
Just beat it. Oh god, that changed my life. That game's still life changing.
Maybe I will go back and play this game.
Yeah, I think there's one day where you're like, you know what? You gotta be in a really good mood too to do that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you can't be like a bad day at work and decide to do this because you ain't gonna get through it.
That means I'm probably gonna have to buy the game again, which is fine because I do like that game.
Well, I still have it though, so.
On PS4?
Yeah.
Gasp.
Yeah, I still have it. That game was great.
Only
Knockout. Are you gonna get it on Switch? Because I'm gonna probably get it on Switch too. I think they optimized it for the Switch.
Only Knockout?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, games I know they're making it for this system, I'm usually more inclined to buy it for
if it's a port, I'm a little wary and I need to see because sometimes you get really nasty ports that don't play correctly and look kind of like garbage. Yikes. And the game could be great, but it doesn't matter because the port is trash.
Yikes. Well, that was pointed. All right, so let's move into Neo. So they finally showed a gameplay trailer, which is pretty much showing this game's going to be nothing more than not a remake, but like
this is just more Neo.
We're retreading Neo with Double Trigger. That's all we're doing.
If you liked Neo, you will like Neo 2, and you will also get a demon form,
which isn't a bad thing. They know what they're good at. They're like, let's stick to what we're doing. Let's not like rock the boat.
Right? We are fast Dark Souls.
That's all it is. It is not bad.
No.
They have more characters too, I think, in this game.
Yes.
For part 2.
So if you liked Neo and you said to yourself, man, this game would be great with Devil Trigger, then boy, do we have a trailer for you.
Yeah. I think it came out a couple of days ago. They have an alpha demo that's going to be coming out I think it's a closed beta or something.
Yeah, people are just randomly getting emails to their PSN accounts. So if you are interested, check your email. You might have a code just sitting there.
Yeah. You can try it out and see if you like the game, which if you like the first one, you'll probably like the second one.
Like I don't.
Whoa.
I would like to.
You would like to have
I would very much like to have one. Because I like Neo.
Neo's good.
I dare say I love it.
Do you like it more than Dark Souls?
Yes.
Oh, that was
no
quick.
debate.
That was quick.
Well, that's because I don't really like Dark Souls.
Okay.
Like, it's just big dudes in armor fighting, like, horror creatures.
Yeah.
Bloodborne did it better.
Yikes. Isn't that the same studio, though?
Yeah, but they decided, hey, what if you weren't some dude in clanging armor, and what if you were cool?
By the blood. I forgot about that until you said Bloodborne.
Yep.
Everything was by the blood.
Look, Bloodborne is great. I still feel like that's the best game From Software has ever made that I've played. And I say that specifically because I haven't played Sekiro yet.
Oh, you gotta play that.
No.
The memes alone are good.
No.
The memes alone make the game.
Like, self-care sometimes is playing games, and sometimes it's not.
But you like playing hard games, though.
That's not the point.
What's the point then?
The point is maybe I don't want to play Sekiro.
Why not? Give me one good reason why you want to play Sekiro.
It's hard.
You just said you like playing hard games.
Yeah, but not masochistic hard.
Wow.
Just, you know what? I'll tell you what, Michael. If I can find, like, a used copy that I can take back if I don't like it, then...
Emphasis on take back.
If I don't like it, then I'll play it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You probably could find. I'm sure you can find a copy of that game. You know why? Because it's so hard. People I'm taking it back.
I mean, they sold 1 million copies, and I'm sure 500,000 of them went right back.
Oh, I'm sure they can do that. All right, I think that wraps up the rundown. So now we're gonna go into the more seedy.
Whoa! We got one more thing.
Oh,
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Stupid of me. How dumb of me.
They got a whole X-Men trailer.
I know, and it's from the same. It's from the people that made Neo. This is Team Ninja.
Man.
How
they finally
foolish.
got that license.
Foolish fool of me. How could I forget this?
They finally got that license.
Yeah, so that X-Men trailer for Marvel Alliance 3 was hype.
We can finally play Magneto.
Yeah, that was lit. That trailer was great. That whole trailer was good. I am maining Psylocke day one. She has a sword and her side blade. It's going to down.
Man, we can fight against the evil Sentinels and not have to rename them something stupid.
Yo, those Sentinels look great, though. I like the way they did the redesign for them for that game.
Man, we can fight them and we don't have to call them Mutant Hunters or
nothing. Mutant Hunters.
We can just call them Sentinels.
I can't wait for that game to come out. Day one, that game's getting bought. Yes. I'm so proud of Team Ninja. I'm just going to come through. Oh, yeah, we definitely got a squad.
I mean, our third is talking about Sabretooth.
Yuck. He always ruined his day.
I mean, he ain't gonna snap his fingers and call Birdie.
He really ain't. Like, this ain't.
Yes, boss.
He did say he want to play Venom too. So
I mean, he's got Venom. He's fine.
Yeah,
he'll be all right.
Are you gonna play Deadpool too?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who else I'm gonna play besides Like
I don't see anybody I'm not gonna play except Hawkeye because it's Hawkeye.
We'll probably play Black Panther. I know he's there too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Black Widow was there. I'm not gonna play her either.
I'm definitely gonna play Scarlet Witch because I want
can't
magic.
play characters that like die so easily.
Magic must. Whoa, that's a whole spoiler.
Look, it's been enough time.
You know, you're right. The Russo brothers already said that
they said we could talk about this.
Can we yeet her in the game,
man? Look, all we gotta do is find a pit.
What if you can yeet her? I know this whole game's about the Infinity Stones. So what if you can yeet her for the Infinities for the Soul Stone?
Well,
just like in the movie.
Well, that's what we call realism.
Yikes! I mean, I'm sorry, but
I would do that in real life.
I would yeet her for the Soul Stone.
If I had to pick one of my peoples to like just yeet like that, then she's going.
I think Gamora's this game too. Is she?
Then I might throw Hawkeye out to see if I can get 2 Soul Stones.
You can't get 2 Soul Stones, only 1 Soul Stone. This ain't a buy one get one free thing. This ain't no 2 for 1.
I mean, you know that
you cannot eat 2 people and you gonna get 2 Soul Stones. See, that's why you can't be in the Marvel Universe because you be on W's. They gonna be like, give us a Soul Stone back. You playing in our face? Talk about some. Can we get 2? Can I get 2 Soul Stones?
I mean, 2 Stones. I mean, it makes sense to me.
You can't be in the Marvel Universe. You would get us messed. You would mess up everything.
Damn.
We'd end up not getting the Soul Stone because of you, and people would be dead because you don't follow rules. So can I get 2 Soul Stones?
Fine. We won't have 2 Soul Stones because we won't try.
I cannot deal with you. I can't believe he said, "Can I get 2 Soul Stones?" Yeah, that game looks good. I'm gonna definitely buy that day one. I'm excited to play it. There's been a Marvel Alliance game in like forever, and the fact that Team Ninja's gonna be developing it means it's gonna be really good action. So,
all right, good time's over.
Yep, this is Anthony's favorite portion of the show. He gets to talk.
Well, I get to shit on the games industry.
Yeah, pretty much. So
this one actually makes me sad to talk about because I'm really looking forward to this game. But I've become a firm believer that no game is worth the human condition.
Yeah, I agree.
And so we start off talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and their terrible development so far. Now, the article cited that they are having Anthem levels of bad development. And to put that in context, in case you didn't read Jason Schreier's expose on development of Anthem, the highlights there was that they spent, 16 or 18 months in pre-production?
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Most of their production was spent in pre-production. Like that.
So that's probably like creating assets and stuff.
Hold on. I think I'm getting that wrong. I think that was how much time they had for actual development. Okay. Point is, most of their time was spent in pre-production.
That's a long
time.
Like
a lot of time.
Jesus Christ. What was they doing?
I don't know.
Were they putting like every pixel on everything like individually?
I mean, well, it was mostly really bad development management because...
Sounds about right.
Oh boy. Like they were talking about, well, we're the BioWare A team and we get to say what's what and, you know, we don't have to listen to the B team.
Not the B team?
Yes.
That's rude. Dang, not the B team.
And then when they released the E3 trailer, that wasn't even the real game. They were like, what is this? Did we got to make this? Because that was...
Hold up. So, are you telling me that they weren't sure what game they were making?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying to you.
Wow. Okay.
So, what happened was that they had an initial game idea. It was actually going to be called Beyond, and they were showing this off to Patrick Soderlund when he was working there. and he didn't like it. So
surprise, surprise.
They decided to make it more action oriented with jetpacks and flight and stuff like that. And that's then what they showed to him. And they said then after that, okay, now this is the game we have to make. This is the game that they're going to have to start expecting. So they just kind of threw that up at E3, and a lot of people were just like not ready to make this game. Some people just didn't know.
Well, so how does this tie into so this is like the similar situation going on with Cyberpunk?
That is what they are saying. They're saying that these are the kind of conditions they're saying they're working under right now.
Yuck. That's terrible. What's up with all these companies not coming out? Like, there's like all these like uproars and like developments for these games. Or maybe it's because now people feel like they have to say something.
Yeah, because now people have their attention.
Yeah.
After that Jason Schreier thing, people were listening. People hear what's going on now. People will buy games and not know anything about what's supposed to be happening. But this is what is the cost of a game these days.
Yeah.
Those long crunch periods, people going through all sorts of depression, people being stress casualties, which is really supposed to be for the military, as I understand it.
Yeah.
This is what goes on, and people don't know about it. People go around unaware playing their EA games, their Activision games, and all that stuff.
Ugh.
And I don't want to say that to make people feel guilty or anything like that. I just want that to be known when we sit here and we discuss games and we act like when developers say, yeah, we had 100-hour work weeks. That's not to be celebrated.
That's really not. That whole crunch stuff is terrible. Because the worst part about that is like a lot of the big wigs and like the top executives, they go home at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Where everybody else is sitting there like at the development place, still at their computers, tired from a 16-hour day, and they're still not even done. And then the expectation is that you have to do these like long hour shifts. Like, it's not like, oh, as they say, it's optional. We're not putting a gun to your head. But from a person, I've worked in places like this where it's like, they have like that corporate intimidation where they kind of like intimidate you to feel like you have to do it to keep your job. Like, I know what type that feels like. It's awful. It's really awful.
It's not something people can just walk away from because they need to work.
Yeah, they need to live. Like, I don't understand why companies think that these whole like really tumultuous development cycles are going to make, these games better. Like, you would think people who are more creative would be in an environment that allows them to be creative would make a better game.
Yeah. So as you all play games, enjoy the games that you enjoy and support the games that you love, always. However, when you have developments like this and then the publishers come out with their proud development this and we have BioWare magic, and then forget that little.
So gross.
Then forget that, and they try to make it seem like they're hard workers. Understand that is abuse.
Yeah, workplace abuse is a thing.
Yes, and that's going to tie into the next thing we talk about, unfortunately, because the industry, on many levels, is full of crap.
Yes.
This is just the start. The next gets a little bit more serious. If you all haven't heard about it by now, we're talking about the Riot Games walkout.
Yeah, that was a bit much, but for good reason, though.
So, 150 staff members at Riot walked out, and for people who don't know who Riot is, they are the people behind League of Legends. So, they all walked out because of a policy that they have that makes it so they can't sue the company. Now, why would they want to sue the company, you ask? Well, because of sexual harassment. They've had a lot of talk around sexual harassment lately, and nobody can sue the company because of forced arbitration in sexist culture. That's the official terminology they use for the walkout. And, boy. all they want is for that stuff to be ended so that if they need to seek legal action, they can. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though Riot was really listening. Riot just kind of put out a statement that they want to improve the workplace culture if they can, and even go so far as to let us know that these are all rioters.
You're so funny, Riot Games. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine, because labeling employees like that really does feel a little seedy and creepy.
This seems like a whole HR nightmare, to be honest. Like, all of this sounds like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what contract they signed, but it's like they are really in the shitter with this whole situation, because it's like legally they can't really do much.
Yeah, they have to stay silent. They have to keep all this to themselves. And
Which is terrible.
They have to find ways to have some sort of recourse where they are still within their legal contracts, so they don't get sued or anything like that by these large companies, because you know they will.
Oh, they will. They're petty enough to do it.
You know, to send a message. But on top of that, they need to get the word out, because people need to know about this kind of stuff.
They're in a really bad situation because they have to do everything internally. And if you have a crappy internal, like, human resources, like, department, which I'm sure is what's going on right now, they're not going to sell anything. Like, oh, well, we don't have any evidence of such acts ever happening or something like that. It just seems really seedy. So it's not a lot you can really do in a situation. You can't go outward to, like, do something. You can't go inward to do something either. It's like,
yeah,
what do you
just
do?
Kind of stuck.
You're really stuck. That's terrible.
And of course, the obvious answer for us would be, well, just quit your job. But no one, I would never suggest anybody who does not have the financial position to do so to just up and quit,
or have an opportunity to go somewhere else.
Because even in this industry talks to each other a lot.
Oh, yes.
So if you leave Riot because of something like that and they know about it, they'll just blacklist you.
Yeah.
And once you're blacklisted in a company, other companies are going to know about that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go from Riot, be blacklisted from Riot, and go to, like, say, Activision, and then you think you're about to work in this industry. And it's not even just companies like that. You get blacklisted from all sorts. You get blacklisted from advertising. You get blacklisted from publications. The game industry is pretty
small.
It's small enough where things like that are very possible. So even then, after you can go indie or something like that, how are you going to get coverage?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can do it yourself organically through, like, Facebook and Twitter and social media and stuff like that. But even that's not enough sometimes. Sometimes you're going to need ad space. You're going to need the funding for that. And the big companies can make it real hard for small companies if they really want to.
Oh, yeah. This is... I just think this whole situation is bad because of the fact that there's no... They need a third-party person in general to regulate the game industry. That's what it sounds like to me at this point.
Well,
like, we just need something to step in, because it's like they're just going and doing whatever they want to do and not giving any care to the people that's working on these games to begin with. It's like, I'm glad it's getting more attention, because the more attention means people are going to be a little more wiser about the games they're buying and knowing what went into getting these games for where they are.
Well, if it helps you feel any better, the rumblings of unionization are starting to get louder and louder.
Yes, we need that.
Plus, the government's starting to step in on some of this stuff.
For the good reasons this time. Not just to be regulating games because they're too violent.
Yes. So, that segues perfectly into the loot box bill.
Yes. I'm here for it.
So, the loot box bill has been introduced to the Senate, and the game industry is shooketh.
They need to be.
Because people have been saying all this time, hey man, maybe y'all should chill. Maybe you should relax on that. And now we got bipartisan support.
Right.
Which means that the Democrats and the Republicans are shaking hands like, man, EA really went too far.
Very far.
So shout out to Josh Hawley, who introduced this bill to the Senate. He is a Missouri senator. Shout outs to Missouri, I guess.
All right. Come through, Missouri.
I mean, when other states are doing other stupid stuff, it's good to know that we got to cut.
Sorry.
It's good to know we got a few good states.
Yes. Shout out to Missouri in the Midwest doing something good for a change.
Before we found out Missouri's doing something else. But hey.
Yeah, right? Ugh.
But yeah.
So what does the bill exactly do?
So it's pretty much cracking down on loot boxes that creates a pay to win atmosphere.
Okay.
And loot boxes that are like, because sorry, getting tongue tied there. So they are targeting loot boxes because they believe that they are addictive and they believe that they only encourage more spending, which exploits the children.
Yep.
Which is, always the angle for these bills, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever angle you have to use to make this work, go for it.
Yeah.
If you gotta think of the children, fine. Even though
there's someone, please think of the children.
Despite the fact that there are plenty of adults who need this kind of regulation too.
Yo, because the adults, they can do whatever they want, and there's no consequences to some stuff they do. Like, yeah, adults need regulations too.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Even I have fallen a bit prey to some loot boxes sometimes. I've never spent exorbitant amounts of money. But I do realize that there have been times where I was like, well, maybe if I roll the dice one more time, I'll get the thing. And that's what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
And so now they want to make some kind of legislation to crack down on those to regulate them. Not so much stop them and make them just gone altogether, but to regulate them. Of course, the ESA, the people who put the ratings on games, are pushing back, saying that this bill is full of inaccuracies and it's all wrong because loot boxes aren't gambling. They're using the logic that they haven't been seen as gambling in other places, in a couple countries, despite the fact that there are so many others.
So many others. Yeah, Belgium was on it. Belgium was on it.
Belgium was like, nah,
we ain't doing this.
Like, they are very much cherry picking the facts to make it seem like loot boxes just aren't that bad. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, man. You can find way more testimonies of people who have had addictive tendencies with them that you can ignore, I believe.
Because it's the idea that you're like, you don't know what you're going to get. And that rush of adrenaline comes from the fact that you don't know what you're going to get. Like, I could get something really cool this time. And, it might be something really awesome this time.
And then when you do get that cool thing, it really makes you feel good because then you can get another cool thing.
Yep. That dopamine you get from it is crazy. So it's like, I want to feel that rush again. Let me do it again.
I'm not going to lie, man. That was, for me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Because, it's not technically a loot box because it's a card pack, but the principle is still there,
the same
right?
thing.
Yeah. The only leeway it gets is, quote unquote, it's free. And it is. It's one of the much less egregious ones because they still give you plenty where if you wanted to play for free, you could, but of course, it would be harder. If you pay money for like a card pack, you get a cool card and you want that card, and you want like 3 of them, you keep going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that type of stuff is difficult to just shake. Especially when you put it in a $60 game.
Yeah.
That's where it gets really bad.
I'm down with loot boxes being regulated, or actually obliterated, to be honest. Like, get rid of them.
Well, slowly but surely, I think that's happening.
Yeah.
Because whether we like it or not, loot boxes do hurt games.
They do.
They do not promote creativity.
Nope.
They do not like have some kind of artist expression. They are purely there
for monetization. Mm-hmm. That's it. Did it make more money? Ugh. All right. What's next on our docket? I know it's like your other favorite topic. You just had any reason to talk about this game.
So Anthem, right? we talked about them a little bit before, but let's talk about the fact that Anthem is dying.
What?
It's looking like a corpse.
How? It's one of the biggest games that came out this year.
Yeah, that's what people would have told you before it came out, but how many of those people are still playing?
There are few.
Look, man, there was already something that came out that said if you play on a certain difficulty, you're not going to find matches.
Yikes.
Ooh, that's for one. 2, the subreddit for Anthem is on fire.
Because
because it's burning down to the ground and it's becoming smoldering ash.
So everybody's just watching it burn?
Yes, that's what that Reddit is pretty much at this point. Yikes. The official Twitter hasn't tweeted in like a month.
That's a long time.
Yeah, especially for a game that's supposed to be a live service.
How you gonna have a live service but not live like updates? Like
it's still on.
It's still on.
Right.
We need Warriors. It's still on.
Do you?
Yes.
It's still on. It still works.
You doing the most for the least. As always when it comes to this topic.
I just pulled up the Reddit. We're gonna read some of these spicy posts.
Oh, these spicy takes?
Yes.
Oh God.
Let's see. Anthem is an actual scam.
That's a good one. It's an actual scam.
Logged back into Anthem after almost 2 months of not playing and is still unplayable.
Wow.
Anthem officially has one person left streaming with any viewers.
Yikes. Yo, did they have like 20,000 people like every other day just about when it first came out? Now it's like no one's playing it on it.
This game is obviously dead now.
He says it's a scam. That is the best one.
Is this a bad joke?
Oh, no, not out of season April Fool's joke.
Hey.
Oh, God. Okay. That scam one is my favorite comment.
It's good.
He says this is scam. Oh, God. AAA gaming is great.
I wish I was allowed a refund.
Of course not. Man.
Let's face the hard, honest truth. Fallout 76 is better than Anthem.
Yikes. Oh, God.
Oh, man. That one stung.
I see. Oh, this is great.
Oh, man.
AAA gaming has just gotten so terrible over the years. Like, we get these unfinished games. We gotta pay premium prices for it. You gotta pay premium prices for, like, the deluxe edition or the super deluxe edition or the super dumb deluxe edition and stuff. And just for the game to be completely, like, desolate a couple of months later. Like, I would be upset if I spent $100 on this game and now there's no one I can play with.
Just go play Monster Hunter World?
I mean, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Like, it's a complete game. Like, it has a new patch coming out, like, what, September? The Iceborne stuff? Shout out to Capcom. Y'all did that. This whole Monster Hunter.
Ooh. Oh, no. Here we go.
Where we at?
I clicked on Anthem as an actual scam to see the entirety of the post. That's putting it lightly. I've never seen such an incompetent team handle a game so poorly. There's been no news in weeks. The Anthem Twitter hasn't posted anything in a month. I can't even play the fucking game because it's dead and I can't match with anyone. I demand a refund. I hope EA will realize that they need to just end development of this game and refund to everyone. So they're never going to do that.
Of course not.
The money they made is in their pockets already.
Yep. Well, not everybody's pocket, just the main executives.
Yeah.
They're like, ha ha ha, let me get this Tesla.
Right? They can still have their platinum dishes.
Yeah.
Their mountain water faucets.
Their Prada stuff or their Gucci sandals they probably got.
Right? They Gucci slides.
This is so gross. It's just like AAA gaming is like such a joke now. Like, they make these half-ass games. They make you pay all this money. You gotta get these season passes and these, like, it's just gross.
That's why I'm so into the indie market, man.
Man, we need to make a whole show about, like, the indie market.
I'm down for that, man.
I need to get that done, like, sometime soon. Cause I'm so down for that. Cause, like, or like the in-between, like, market.
Oh, the double play market?
Yeah. Like the in-between AAA and indie. Cause that's a good market right now too.
Shop indie, man. Yeah. Indie games are really pulling off some great things.
They are, because they're not bogged down by like board of governors and all this other bureaucracy and garbage and numbers and spreadsheets and this in the red. We get to get in the green and
seeing how I received that 5 posts of those 5 games went.
Yes, people really like that one.
I will try to make that a weekly thing. Because I play a lot, and I want people to know about these games.
Well, if you can't do like 5, just like a spotlight.
Yeah.
Like a indie spotlight.
You know what? That might be better. So I'm not, spreading it too thin, and I'm going to force myself to play games and see if they're good. Yeah. So, we'll do a spotlight, like a weekly spotlight on a game.
I think Thursday would be a good day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursdays.
Because we can't have you not doing your Fight Fridays. Like, people like those, too. At least those get a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
Either
because I might be a contrarian sometimes about these things.
I mean, it gets people talking. I mean, it gets very, like, polarizing, like, things, which is fine. I like polarizing because that means people are, like, on different sides of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, indie thing. I'll find a cool name for it.
Yeah, but who Anthem? That ship is sinking.
That's a trash fire,
man.
Roll down the street. Like, it's not going anywhere good.
Just play the horns.
Wow.
Play the horns out for it. It's dead. It's dead, Jim. It's over.
It's done.
The dream is dead.
I'm down. All right, our last portion of this will be
the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And all we know about it so far, because it is looking kind of great.
Yeah. The fact it's backwards compatible for PS4 is already a selling point.
That's already great. That's already mean bought.
Yeah.
Because that means I don't have to buy games for it immediately.
Nope.
And that means Street Fighter 5 going to be playable on it.
Yup.
Shout out to all the people that said their game is dead. Their game was amazing this weekend.
Yep.
Anywho. And then this game got like Microsoft and Sony shaking hands on game streaming.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Because, you know, the whole game streaming thing has been kind of trash. Because PlayStation Now is garbage. I don't care what anybody says. So they're going to find a way to make that not be trash anymore.
Yeah, because Microsoft found a way to not make it as trash.
That's good. Well, share.
But they got that whole Game Pass going on, and that actually sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's good now until they jack up the prices again when people start getting it. You know they will. Because right now it's a little ridiculous how much you can get for so little.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah. The load times for that PS5 for the PS4 games are ridiculous.
Man.
Like, it's like,
it was like almost instantaneous, man.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy.
We've been longing for a console to have really low load times or just non-existing in general. So the fact they're able to do that, even if it's for backwards compatibility, it's still great. I don't know what type of engine. I don't know how much it's going to be.
Do you know what I would give for Tekken 7 to not take 30 seconds to load?
Who you telling? That game is so much fun, but them load times suck.
Man, you better be ready to be playing that game, and you just gotta have something to do for 30 seconds.
Yeah. Get ready for the next battle.
Dude.
You just sit there. So yeah, I'm excited for the PS5. I'm glad it's not coming out this year. I'm glad it's coming out probably next year.
Probably next year.
Yeah, you're probably gonna launch it. I might not buy it that first year because, of course, I'm never on board with first year tech anyway.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm gonna just wait to see how things go.
Because
I don't want the disc tray to be messed up or something, or
the thing overheats.
Yeah, because that's a thing. So,
they spontaneously combust. Don't need none of that.
Yeah, none of that. None of that here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I just want to see what else they're going to show. Hopefully they show something at E3 this year.
Well, so far, so good, man.
They're probably going to have a state of play or something. Because they're not going to be at E3 this year. So they're going to have to have some type of
Can we take a quick second to talk about state of play? Can we take a quick second to talk about
Okay.
Because I've seen the two that they've had so far.
Okay.
Can they not try so hard to be Nintendo?
Why not?
Can they try their absolute best to not be Nintendo?
You sound silly.
Especially when they put so much fluff. So much freaking fluff. Although the second one was better than the first. The first was trash. And let's be honest, that was just the MK11 trailer featuring other stuff.
Yeah.
Just like this past one was the Final Fantasy VII trailer featuring other stuff.
I mean, yeah.
Look, the state of play will never be in the Nintendo Direct, okay?
It will
Especially
never be.
Since they don't have... See, what made the Nintendo Directs cool, right, is that you have personalities that cross the line between, enthusiastic and cheesy. And that makes you kind of want to just listen up to what they have to say. Plus, they have great games coming out.
Yeah.
All I have from the state of play is, this disjointed voice from, some rhythm game talking to me about these games. Aren't they super cool? Go ahead. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, they don't have personalities in Sony as far as people we know and we see visibly very often.
Like, if I knew that there were actual human beings behind this, maybe I'd care.
You're terrible for that.
Look. And before Xbox comes out with the box or something like that.
They may have a better name for that new one. I swear to God, if they call it Xbox Square or Xbox...
Or Cubed.
Oh, I'm going to be so mad.
The Cube.
I'm going to be so mad. We have got to fix this. Because Xbox One was a terrible name. Like, 360 was cool because it's like, oh, it's 360. But this Xbox One name, and then Xbox One X, and then Xbox One S, like, are we in, like, what's that game?
Or the Xbox S All Digital Edition, a.k.a. the Xbox Sad.
That thing should be $150.
That thing should be free. What are you
Wow. He said freezy. Yo, okay. All right. So yeah, that's that. That's our lowdown and a rundown for this week.
If they come out with something called the box, they owe me money.
They may not do that ever. All right. So our last portion of the show will be actually an interview I did last weekend at ACEN. Shout out to ACEN. You know, I had a very polarizing time. It was fun at certain points. It was not fun at certain points too.
As per usual.
Yeah, really great guests. I was able to interview Stephanie Sheh. She does a voice for Sailor Moon, so that was awesome.
Ooh.
And I got to do probably one of my part of my bucket list interviews. I got to do the interview with Caitlin Glass. She does the voice for Renry from Fullmetal Alchemist, and she does the voice, of course, for Cammy White for Street Fighter since 4. So she's been doing it for what, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to do most of the interviews. So we're gonna have those after the break, and we'll be right back.
I tried hard, but where did we so long? I hope we could, but I won't start up again. Midday street, more outside, talent disperse in the air. Nobody stopped to sit and wait. Your right seems so innocent. Everything made sense to you. They didn't do me. Deep inside my mind, did a compromise for the bad. Deep inside my mind, believe in your words. Way of life, way of life. I heard you say we were on the same street. Way of life, way of my Midday street, more outside, talent disperse in the air. Nobody stopped to sit and wait. Your right seems so innocent. Everything made sense to you. They didn't do me. Deep inside my mind, did a compromise for the bad. Deep inside my mind, believe in your words. Way of life, way of life. I heard you say we were on the same street. Way of life, way of my
Hello out there, this is Cammy White, and you're listening to Rushdown Radio.
Hi, everyone. It's Stephanie Sheh. Do I have to say who I like what I do? I'm a voice actress, most well known for voicing Sailor Moon, but that currently, not like from 20 years ago.
So can you tell me how you got started in voice acting?
Yeah, sure. I'd always really wanted to be an actor, and I was an anime fan. I had a job producing anime, producing English dubs of anime, and so I got that job to get my foot in the door, and then they let me audition for stuff, and those were my first gigs.
Oh, cool. So what was like your first like big role, like the one like kind of like put you on the map as a voice actress?
You know what? It's really funny because my second role ever was Mamimi in Furikuri. But at the time, like, nobody really knew what Furikuri was. Like, I would go to like a convention and people would be way more excited to meet a girl who played like someone's mom and some bit parts in like his and her circumstances, but I'd never heard of Furikuri. And now Furikuri is like
massive.
It's massive. Yeah. So I would say that was my first big role, but honestly, it didn't really put me on the map, you know?
All right, so we all know that you're the voice actress for Sailor Moon, which is a big deal. So I remember being at C2E2 a few years ago, when you had a panel on there. You talked about how you got the role, but a lot of people haven't been able to hear that story. So how did you get the role of Sailor Moon?
I mean, it's not super complicated. I auditioned. I auditioned for the role, and then I was in Hawaii on vacation for my birthday. And while I was there, I got an email asking me to come in for a callback. And I wasn't about to fly home. You know, I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, so I said, I'm so sorry, I can't come for the callback. If it takes me out of the running, I understand. And they're like, no, it's not going to take you out of the running. So then the day that I was leaving, packing up to go home, I got an email saying that I'd been cast.
Oh.
But they didn't tell me who I was cast as. So I had always, I assumed that I don't know why, I thought I'd been cast as like Ami. I don't know why, because I think that's usually like, I don't know, I'm like the nerdy, bookish friend is how I identify myself. So I never in my wildest dream thought it was Sailor Moon. And actually they never told me until the day before I went into recording. It was so secret that everyone was so paranoid, and everyone was so paranoid to even ask. Wow. And I was in the studio, the same studio, I was at Studiopolis, they record Sailor Moon. I was working with Mary Elizabeth, and we were recording some Naruto, and Jamie, the owner, goes, okay, see you tomorrow. And I'm like, huh? What? I don't know why I didn't register. He goes, you know, for your session. And I was like, oh, right. And then he left. And then he popped his head back and he's like, did we ever tell you who you were playing? And I was like, oh, no. And then he's like, oh, well, you're playing, you know, the Sailor Moon. And I was like, I go, what? And then I looked in the control room, and I see Mary Elizabeth going like thumbs upping me, going like, congratulations, that's awesome. And then Jamie goes, shh, it's a secret. Like, you can't tell anybody. So, yeah, that's kind of like how it happened. Robbie apparently knew, though.
Oh, okay.
I was directing Robbie on a show, on a movie called Patima Inverted. And it was kind of like earlier in his anime career. I've known Robbie for a while. And it was like early in his anime career. And he came in and he had said something. He's like, oh, I'm so glad I'm doing this project because I just booked this really big job. And this like helps me get more into dubbing. So that when I go to the big job, I'm going to feel more comfortable. Yeah. And I go, oh, and I was like, what big job is it? And he goes, I can't tell you. And I go, oh, is it the big job at Studiopolis where you have to be available for AX? And he goes, it is that big job. And then I go, and you know, there's like no guys in Sailor Moon. So I obviously already knew who Robbie was cast as. Yeah. And then Robbie was like, oh, and then he, and I said, I am on that job as well. And he goes, congratulations. And I go, congratulations to you too. We were all talking in code. And then Robbie goes, do you know who you're playing? And I go, no. Do you know who I'm playing? And he's like, what? No. And then it turned out at AX, when we were doing behind the scenes interviews, Robbie knew because apparently when they emailed him, they accidentally sent him the entire cast list.
Oh.
So while none of us knew who each other was because we were like terrified and sworn to secrecy, nobody knew who was playing what. Even when we like saw each other, coming in and out of the booth for a while, anyways. Robbie knew the whole time, but he was a good boy and he kept his mouth shut.
All right, so when they redubbed the original 90s anime, how did that come about too?
I don't know what the choice was. This is what I'm guessing. I can't speak entirely for this. But the original show came out on TV at a time when certain things, people didn't think that certain things were socially acceptable to have on television for kids programming.
Okay.
So, they changed names, they changed sexual orientation of people. So I think that since Crystal was coming out, they wanted fans to be able to, and also, the old Sailor Moon stuff, it was out of print.
Yeah.
There were multiple actresses who played Sailor Moon. Actually, there were two different companies who dubbed it. There was one company for the first half and another company for the later half, and then Sailor Stars was never dubbed.
Yeah.
So I think they made this decision where they're like, you know what, we're going to redub the whole thing with one single cast, and we're going to be more true to the Japanese. And I think they wanted to have a version of it out there, that was more cohesive.
Yeah. It makes sense too when you listen to it now. It's like really consistent and really coherent for the whole story. So like you go from the 90s to the Crystal, like, oh, okay, everyone sounds the same. So it's like,
so the other thing too is like, as much as I am indebted to the original cast, because there would be no Sailor Moon popularity today if it wasn't for the original dub cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just want to kind of like give props to them, and acknowledge their contribution in the entire franchise. But we are the only cast that was approved by Japan, so that's kind of nice.
That is. Was there any pressure to take on the role of Sailor Moon?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Michelle Ruff voices Luna, my very annoying know-it-all cat. Anyway, Michelle took me out for dinner for my birthday, and when she picked me up, the first words out of her mouth were, "Are you ready for the backlash?" And I go, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "Come on, Steph. We're probably going to get a lot of hate." And then I sat in the car and goes, "Oh, no! I never even thought about that! Oh, no!" So, but you know what? Honestly, I haven't really seen that much. I think there are a few people who prefer the old dubs because they're familiar with it and that's what they're used to. But for the most part, the fandom has been like really great and really accepting. And at that first Anime Expo, Viz invited some of the old dub cast, and they showed up and they were there to kind of like pass the torch, and it was so sweet of them to support us that way. You know what I mean? So I was prepared for a lot worse.
So how did it feel like knowing you were playing like such an iconic character? Like, because she's so important to anime in general.
Yeah, I mean, now I think it's amazing. I'm super grateful. It took me a long time to be able to own that part. I kept thinking I was living in some weird, bizarro fantasy dream where they messed up or something like that.
All right, so we can shift gears a little bit to like some of your video game stuff you've done.
Okay.
I didn't know that you played the voice for Samaria in wrong game. Valkyrie Profile Part 2.
Yes.
I was so excited because I didn't even know like now until I figured it out. I'm like, oh wow, that's Sailor Moon's voice.
Yeah.
How'd you get the role for Samaria?
I don't remember.
Oh.
And that's also Michelle Ruff.
Oh, okay.
Michelle plays the little girl version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is so weird because Michelle's always like, it's like opposite. Usually your cast is the high little voice, and I'm the deeper voice. And Yeah, that game was a while ago. It was like one of my earlier kind of big games. Yeah, it was fun.
It's one of my favorites. So I was like, oh my god, that's one of my favorite characters.
Samaria was kind of mean though.
She was. She was like, let's get on targets, get on progress. She was like really authoritative and stuff. So
Yeah.
What about Tharja? I know you.
Tharja's my favorite.
I can. She's such a complete opposite of the characters you've done before. So what is it like?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so much fun. It's my favorite. Also, you know what? Thank God for the game team, but they really have kind of let me make her into her own thing. Mm-hmm. I think the US version is a little bit different than the Japanese version. It's all based off the Japanese version, though. Yeah. But I've had so much fun, and it's so layered too. You know what I mean? Like when she's trying to be cute, or when she's like, like it's so great. It's my favorite thing.
So what's next for you? Like, what do you probably got going up next that we can hear about that you can't talk about?
Oh gosh, I can't talk about it. I'm in a show for Netflix. It's an anime, and that's really, really exciting. And then I'll be directing a movie soon. That's cool. That's pretty much it. We just worked on a movie called Mirai, which was nominated for an Academy Award and a Golden Globe. It was like first anime to be nominated for Best Animated Feature Golden Globe. And then it won an Annie Award, and that project I'm super, super proud of. I wrote the script on it. And it's got John Cho and Daniel Day Kim and an amazing, talented Victoria Grace plays Mirai. She's so talented, and Jaden Waldman plays Kun, and he was like 7 years old when we recorded him, and he has the bulk of the lines, and he has to like throw fits and he was so amazingly good.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your time with us. Anything else you want to say to our fans to the show?
Thanks for your support, and keep fighting the good fight. Oh, Mirai is out on Blu-ray and DVD, and there's also another movie that I think is really cool, and it's called MFKZ. Okay. So check those two out.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie, for seeing us. Guys, we'll see you next time.
All right, bye.
Hey, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Rushdown Radio. I'm Michael, and I'm here at ACEN 2019 on day 3, and I'm joined with a very special guest. Her name is Caitlin Glass. She is a voice actress extraordinaire, and can you introduce yourself for everybody?
Hi, everybody. As just mentioned, I am Caitlin Glass. I'm a voice actress. Most people know me as Winry Rockbell from Full Metal Alchemist or Haruhi Fujioka from Ouran High School Host Club. You can currently hear me as Mina Ashido in My Hero Academia.
Ooh, so many good voices. So many good characters in voice.
Thank you.
So how'd you get started in voice acting?
I started voice acting in 2004. I have a degree in theater from the University of Texas at Arlington, and I went on a tour of Funimation Studios while still in college, and that's where I met a director who auditioned me on the spot, and a few days later, I was voice acting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not really how most people get into it, but that's how it happened for me. It took about 6 months of just being there on occasion, doing little bit parts here and there, and then I was cast as the lead in a show called Spiral, and then I was around the studio more and more, and was asked to audition for a Full Metal Alchemist at the end of 2004.
Wow, okay.
And then I was Winry, and then the rest is history, I guess.
So how'd you get the role of Cammy? Because that's like one of my favorite roles of yours. Like, it's iconic.
Thank you. I guess I'd been voice acting for only about 4 years, three or 4 years, and just through some networking connections from going to conventions, meeting other studios, meeting other directors, I was invited to audition for Street Fighter 4, which at the time there hadn't been a new Street Fighter game in about 10 years, so it was very high profile and very hush-hush. I really did not think that I would get it. I'm based in Dallas, and I knew that this company was in Los Angeles, and I thought, surely they'll just have a real British actress, or they're just people that are far more experienced than me. But I still gave it all that I had, and I really enjoyed the audition, and then I booked it, and I've been Cammy ever since.
So how did you prepare for the role of Cammy?
The main thing is just brushing up on the British accent and talking to the director about how they wanted the accent to sound. Working on that, I think, was the most important thing, so that when we came in, I didn't have to think about that aspect, and I could just focus on the emotions that she's playing. When you do a video game like Street Fighter and there are multiple language tracks, it's extremely important to match the length of the other language's track.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our time was spent getting lines to fit in the same amount of time.
Gotcha.
So you don't have time to be thinking about your dialect and things like that. So that's how we prepare. We listen to the Japanese performance, and then immediately after I repeat whatever the English words are supposed to be, and you do that one cue at a time.
So, what would you say is the most challenging part of fighting game voice acting?
Of a fighting game?
Yeah.
The most challenging part is that you don't have any images to work with.
Okay.
I mean, I knew what Cammy looked like because I played Street Fighter growing up, so I know entirely who she is. But being used to working in anime where you get to watch scenes and watch the animation of what your character's face looks like to match your voice to the emotions on their face. We didn't have that kind of stuff.
Wow.
The most we had sometimes were some animatics for the cutscenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so an animatic is not a fully realized image. It's like watching storyboards go by,
Gotcha.
basically.
So you kind of have to like fill in the blank a lot of times
Yes.
with it. Wow.
Yeah.
Was a lot of pressure to do Cammy since there hasn't been a lot of like, I would say, prior source material to go off of?
Source material, you mean an English voice?
Yeah.
I didn't think of it that way. I didn't concern myself with anybody else's performance because this was the Cammy that, Capcom chose.
Yes.
So it's whatever the heck I did in my audition, that's what they liked, so I'm going to focus on that.
That's good. Yeah. So let's switch roles to another game you did was Tales of Zestiria. We did the voice of Rose.
Yes.
So how'd you get the role for Rose in Zestiria?
How did I? I believe that Bandai Namco, with the Tales series, they don't like to reuse actors from one game to another because you never know how those worlds might collide in the future.
Gotcha.
So they'd done a number of Tales games at that point, and directors that I knew in Los Angeles asked if they knew other people from different regions that would be a good fit to audition for the next Tales game. So I was invited, and I read for Rose, and I read for Alicia, and I read for pretty much any female in the game. But Rose is who I got.
Yeah. Love the performance. She's like my favorite character in the game. So
Thank you.
So what's like the biggest difference between doing voice acting for an RPG and a fighting game?
Oh, RPGs have a lot more talking.
Mm.
For example, another RPG I did was Xenoblade Chronicles the X, and I play Elma. That was about 40 hours or more of just me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of talking.
Yes. Whereas, say, Cammy in Street Fighter 4 and also in Street Fighter 5, like when you're first, she has a lot of story to tell. That was maybe 8 or 12 hours total. And with 4, each time they put out a new version, the arcade version, the super ultra extravagant whatever version, there would be more story to tell, so it would be another 2 or 4 hours. But all together, in the whole of everything I've ever recorded for Street Fighter does not add up to one RPG game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there like a big difference between doing the animation that came out later for Tales of Zestiria?
It was, but I really honestly enjoyed the animation a lot more than working on the game, again, because I had images to work with.
Yeah.
Now, in an RPG, you will oftentimes have video to see, at least for the cutscenes, but the stuff where it's just the dialogue, the stuff they say as you, the player, are wandering through the world, we don't know what we're looking at when we're talking about it. So it was great to do the anime Tales of Zestiria because we could see things.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So, you have like advice for like up and coming or amateur like voice actors who want to get into the business?
The most important thing is to be a skilled actor. That's really it. To my mind, I'm also a director, and so I'm always interested in knowing how much training an actor has had, and if they just have good acting chops, because everybody's got a voice, but that doesn't mean that everyone should be a voice actor.
That's
the
true.
most important word is actor. So take all the acting classes that you can and be in stage productions and learn how to take direction from different types of people.
Some good advice. You have any projects coming up that you can actually say right now, or does not have to be NDAs involved?
Oh yeah, I'm not in anything voice-wise that I can't talk about. But the main thing I do nowadays is direct.
Okay.
So I'm currently directing the new Fruits Basket
Okay.
for Funimation. And also a show called Fairy Gone by my favorite studio, and that's PA Works. So I mainly work in anime, but that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay. I have one last thing. A lot of like Cammy players are going to be playing at a tournament next weekend.
Oh,
It's like
good
the
luck,
big
you
one.
guys.
Yeah, for like Combo Breaker, they're like really excited. So do you have any like encouraging words for them? All the Cammy mains out there?
Sure. I would say to Cammy mains out there, I do wish you the best of luck, but do remember at the end of the day, it is a game and it's meant to be fun. So if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Oh my God. It's the greatest thing. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Quite
We're
welcome.
so excited to have you.
Thanks a lot for having me. This has been awesome. If anybody wants to keep up with me, feel free to follow me on all the social media. I am Caitlin's Voice, CAITLINS Voice, on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, all the things.